Hi, I'm Jason Gorber, and we're here to nerd out about a Lego space shuttle.
Big change.
So back in the day, I was a kid. I'd collect a lot of Lego, and obviously a child of the '70s. Um, I was obsessed with space. I wanted to be an astronaut. Space Lego came out around that time, and it was phenomenal. The blue sets, the Benny spaceship nonsense from the Lego Movie, which I really respond to. But one of the earliest things that I remember doing, I actually have a Polaroid of it, is me building my own space shuttle with my paltry amount of parts that I had. I thought I will do this. I used to build space shuttles out of Lego, and I also used to build it out of those cereal boxes. The sort of single serve boxes that the flaps open up on the side. That always reminded me, obviously, of the cargo bay, where stuff gets tucked in, and so you'd have the box with the flaps, and that would be the beginning. You kind of round off a nose, put on some tail, and put on some wings. So yeah, I was kind of obsessed with space shuttle. Also, my best friend at the time, his father worked for Spar Aerospace and was shortlisted. I guess he was one of the last 32 Canadian astronauts selected when Marc Garneau and the others that followed him were chosen to be the first Canadian astronauts. I remember distinctly he mentioned as he was building the Canada arm that there were problems, there was delays with the space shuttle because of tiles, and I couldn't get my head around about how tiles would have to do with a spaceship. The only tile that I knew of was like a floor tile. So I'm thinking, like, I knew it landed like a plane. So was it a matter that the runway wasn't right, so that they couldn't land? It had to have some sort of soft landing or something like that. I just couldn't understand that they would construct an entire spaceship out of these ceramic tiles, carbon on the sides, and each individually numbered and laser cut and all this stuff. Obviously, the tiles ended up being real challenging when one of the spaceship actually had an issue with a puncture on some of the tiles. But nonetheless, it was a very, very futuristic way. I was too young when I was born to truly get what was taking place during the moon landing. I obviously missed all that. But the space shuttle really was my notion that the world was getting better, that science was going to lead the way, and that we could accomplish through scientific ingenuity whatever it is that we wanted to accomplish. It was long before I got cynical. Anyway, so I've always connected space shuttle with my childhood, but also with this sense of yearning and the challenges of construction. So what better way to actually associate those two things than with Lego? There's been a bunch of space shuttle sets in the past. The correlation or the collision between Lego and NASA is definitely long-standing. One that I have that I love is this fiber optic Technic set. I bought that actually when I was in Europe. And that was the first time that I saw the sort of big sets. I'd never seen them. I mean, in local shops, they don't sell the crazy stuff. But particularly in Europe is where I got to see these things that I'd only dreamed about, these giant Technic sets that have these elements. And then there was a bunch of brick built sets that, did the trick. But I think that they've sort of gone above and beyond with this monster. Ugh. Here we are. There's the latest set. Beautiful black box showing off everything in space. And here we are, the shuttle Discovery once again being highlighted. 2,354 pieces, set number 10283. So what do we got here? We got basically the launch of Hubble. And that's what we got. You can see a cannon arm there, and you can see the Hubble spacecraft. Now, all the Lego people will know about this, but it's been a while since Lego themselves actually used real chrome parts. Not full metal parts, but actually mirrored reflective parts. They sort of do a drum chrome now, which is less shiny but more durable. I think that's where the divide is. I have a couple sets like the UCS version of the spaceship from episode 1 that, its nose is beautifully chrome. We're never going to get the Queen's ship, Amidala's ship, in true chrome. I'd love that. But nonetheless, there's actually a bunch of stuff, especially with the Hubble, that uses this new drum chrome option. So as I reach over for my trusty opener, so you're going to get stuff, and when it opens up, these are actually going to be chrome stickers on the inside of the cargo bay. So as I open this, try to save it as best as I can. I'm going to have a ton of pieces in your regular numbered bags. And I am a sucker for that. For, yes, it's the United States logo nonsense on a brick, the Helvetica with the American flag, because I know that's just going to fit in and not be a sticker, and I'm really happy about that. Bags and bags here, number bags, and then this is one of their new parts that they've constructed for this set that is building these sort of opening flappy things. And so on the inside here are going to go a bunch of shiny stickers. So this is on the unnumbered bags, including the plate, because it's essentially really is the equivalent of a UCS set, the Ultimate Collector Series set. They sort of come and go about what actually constitute that, but these are really, I mean, 18 plus was, I guess, ostensibly designed for adults. It didn't matter when I was a kid, it doesn't matter now. If it's 4 plus, I'm still building it. If it's 18 plus, when I was a kid, I still would have attacked it. But nonetheless, you got a lot to love here. Lots and lots of white parts as we go through. But what I'm looking for here, somewhere buried underneath all this, is another box. Nothing. We get one of these plain white boxes that they usually throw this stuff in. As I open this up, yet more parts. Bags and bags and bags of awesomeness. And here, alas, at the bottom of it all is what I'm really looking for, which is the instruction manual. As I said, on sets like this, they actually do a really decent job, usually, of minimizing the number of stickers required. On this one, you get some pretty fancy stuff. You can see these aren't stickers per se. This is sort of a plasticky, mylar-y thing that corresponds to the solar panels that are on the Hubble telescope. You then have, again, the equivalent UCS stickers and a couple that actually target that. You can see that the Hubble itself has its own, because there's different ways that you can actually set this up. You can have Hubble on its own stand and the shuttle on its own stand. You can have the Hubble actually coming out of the cargo space and not. And then here, I mean, it's super weird, but this is like a mirrored version of stickers, and this is what we will put onto the inside for insulation. So you can see here on the front how each of these, this can have its own stand and Hubble can have its own stand. And again, very substantial instruction manuals. They're moving away from the black background for this. I think it brings an elegance, but I totally understand with some of the coloration of some of the parts, it becomes very hard to determine what's what. But yeah, this is where you get the nonsense in the beginning. There will be a story. There's always a story. And they actually show what the actual shuttle looks like. Now, this brings up something really important. I'm aware that there are third-party companies that do this. I would super love if Lego just decided to be silly and do a build-to-order version of the gantry for the Saturn V that they already have released, and similarly the solid rocket boosters and the fuel tank, the orange fuel tank, and some sort of similar gantry for the shuttle. I would love that. That's sort of above and beyond what we're ever going to get, but there's something about having that giant orange thing there in scale to this that I would really thoroughly enjoy. So if you're listening out there, Lego, I would certainly be somebody who would actually back that. I don't think that's something you would see in stores, but that's the kind of thing that I think that they could do as a limited run, or maybe even as an on-demand run. I don't need a fancy outside box. I could even get away with PDF instructions, but if it was an official set from Lego, rather than me going to a third party or using clone bricks, I would really love that. Anyway, I got a lot to build here, but I wanted to show this, when it's actually constructed. I'll compare it to some of the other sets, but for now, there's a look at me unboxing the latest Lego Space Shuttle from our friends in Denmark. Thanks so much for watching. For thatshelf.com, I'm Jason Gorber. Please follow us on social media. Please subscribe. Please click the bell. And we'll see you next video. All the best. Take care.